Yo, what's good everyone? I'm back in with another video. In this video, guys, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about something a little bit more fun. I want to talk about how to aura farm. So what is aura farming in the first place? So aura farming is essentially you farming aura, right? Farming, aka, you're acquiring aura. And aura, what it is essentially is popularity, fame, clout. It's this power, this energy around you that attracts eyeballs to you, right? It's this, when you're cool, when you're popular, when you're popping, right? People care about you. It's more so people care about you, the person. So much so that they care more about you than the actual body of work or thing that you do. For example, if we look at Playboy Cardi, for example, right? That guy, he has a lot of aura because not just necessarily because of his music, because his music, I mean, it's subjective. People like it, people don't like it. But he has a lot of aura because of the way that he is. People care more about the name Playboy Cardi than the actual music itself. Let's keep it 100. That's what it is. It's more so who they are. And that's the aura factor. It's who they are more so than just the value that they bring. Obviously, value still matters, but it has more so with their name, and what the name means now, right? If you hear Playboy Cardi, if you hear I Show Speed, Michael Jackson back in the days, LeBron James, those names have weight to them, right? Because it has aura. Anyway, so now that I described what aura is, which I guess I didn't even have to because a lot of you guys know, but I had to explain for people that don't know. Now, how to actually farm aura and how to actually acquire aura. Now, who the fuck am I to speak on aura? You guys don't even know who the fuck I am. Most of you guys don't know who I am. Who am I to even speak about aura? If I haven't acquired aura, why am I to speak about aura? Well, the thing is, in my opinion, aura is beyond just popularity. Popularity, when you're very poppin', and everybody looks at your name, etc., that's like the ultimate form of aura. But it doesn't mean you can have aura, your name is not poppin', right? So this is what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about how to actually acquire aura, at least for your scale, for your level. And then obviously you can acquire that by yourself, by leveling up, etc., just like what I'm trying to do right now. So in order to acquire aura, the first thing that you need to understand is you need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. You cannot try and fit into another criteria, another person's style, another person's drip. You need to have your own style, your own way of being. This is the most crucial part of it. You cannot try and copy somebody else. You can get inspired by somebody else, whatever it is. I'm talking about, it could be music, it could be just the way you live, right? Anything. You can get inspired by somebody, but you cannot be a carbon copy of somebody else. You need to be your own self. You need to be authentic to the highest level possible, right? That's the number one thing you need to do. Because why? Because once you're authentic, to like 100% authentic yourself, nobody can become you. Because there's only one of you on this planet, and that is you. And nobody can imitate that 100%. A lot of people can maybe look like you or, have like similar vibes to you, but nobody is gonna be 100% the way you are. So that's the number one thing you need to understand in order to get aura, is to not fit in, but be the outcast, be different. And then over time, people will gravitate towards your style, towards your aura. That's the number one thing you need to know. This is what you do when you gather aura. Look at, again, I know I keep using Playboy Cardi, but that's probably the, when people talk about aura, right? Aside from maybe, the guy from Solo Leveling and Piccolo in anime, right? If we're talking about a real life person, Playboy Cardi is probably the number one guy, people think about, right? So when you think about him, the way he did music, he went and did his own thing. He mumbled, what? Yeah, like he did his own take, his own thing, right? Now, either he got influence, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. He stuck with it, and even though people were talking all types of shit back in the days, even now, this music is horrible, it's trash, he does not care, his own phase, he's doing his own thing, he does not give a fuck, he's doing his own lane, and just that alone is what's keeping him popping and what's keeping him so popular. It's by having this aura mindset, this I'm being myself and I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and I don't give a fuck if it's ridiculous. I don't give a fuck if people make fun of me. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm doing me. I'm doing whatever I wanna do. Dude, look at fucking I Show Speed. He's wearing this fucking Yeezy slash like slides, you know, or like, you know, the like croc type of sandals thing, right? Bro, you would tell me 15 years ago wearing Crocs would be cool. People would make fun of you. Crocs were lame as fuck. They were probably the lamest fucking shoes you could wear. But now they're fucking cool. Why? Because somebody wore them, right? I'm not saying Speed is the one, you know, like, you know, that started wearing them, etc. You know, he does the matching shoes, you know, like one color on one side and one color on the other side. I guess maybe we might see like a rising popularity with this at some point. But the point I'm trying to get to is whatever is trendy is trendsetters. Trendsetters, when people are themselves, when people set trends, that's what's the number one thing you want to accomplish, is being yourself, not being scared of who you are, not being scared of the way you're going to express yourself, being yourself. This is the number one way to acquire aura. Now, let's talk about the second thing about how to acquire aura, right? The second thing is being fucking cool. Now, how are you cool? Well, first of all, cool goes hand in hand with being authentic, because if you're authentic to yourself, you're 100% with yourself, then you're probably going to be cool, because in a sense, you don't give a fuck about what people think, and that's already what cool means, basically. You know, it's just doing your thing and being cool. But if we want to go with the book by book, you know, definition of what being cool is, being badass, I guess, you know, more associated like, yeah, it's cool, badass, then that's the second thing you need to understand, is to not be ridiculous. Have an edge to you. You can be funny, you can be ridiculous, you can be a fucking clown making monkey noises, being retarded, like, you can do all of this shit. But there's times to get serious. You have to be able to lock in. You have to be able to just, you know, like, you need to just lock in. You just need to be able to just be that guy. Like, you know, just no corny shit, no weird shit. You know, you're still being yourself, but you're chilling, you're cool. You can analyze situations calmly. You can, you know, you're just sitting there chilling, locking in. You're not being a fucking idiot the whole time, 24/7. You know how to control that side, right? That's the second most important thing, is being able to just in certain situations be serious, lock in, you know, and be cool. Then there's extra things, right? You know, obviously we talked about it earlier, you know, with the way you express yourself, but you know, that's your drip, the way you're dressed, you know, your hair, you know, the grooming, you know, things like this. This is important to a degree because that would add into your aesthetic, right? But that doesn't do everything, right? That's probably not as important as the first two that I talked about, but those are like details that will enhance your aura, right? The way you dress, the shoes that you wear, etc., etc. This is like attributes to add on to the aura that you have, right? So that's like a minor thing, but we have to talk about it anyways because it is important, right? When we look at the guy from Solo Leveling, right, and we look at his drip, like in the first season, he doesn't have any drip. But then at the end, when people start talking about aura farming and, you know, and like he got drip, bro, the guy was wearing a fucking full ass cape looking like Guts from Berserk, bro. That guy, he was cool. And that's why people were talking about it. You need to look cool as well. You know, you can't just look like a fucking lame. And, you know, yeah, you can have aura, but if you want a next level aura, you need to also look fucking cool, right? So that's why I'm talking about all this goes hand in hand. Now, the third most important thing is being competent at whatever you are. AKA, if you're a streamer, you need to be competent at being a streamer. You need to be the best streamer. If you're a comedian, you have to be the funniest comedian. If you're an athlete, you need to be the best athlete at your sport. You know, you need to be the best or close to the best or to a level that gains respect in your field. So if you can be the best at whatever you're doing, whatever field you're doing, or whatever activity you're doing, then that's already extra aura, right? You don't want to be a mid or not good, you know, you have all this aura, right? Like you're cool looking, you're authentic, blah, 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 but whatever profession or activity you do, you're not that good, you're mid, you know, that's not aura, you know? You need to be the best or close to the best or an expert at your field, right? That's the next thing you need to understand to have aura, is you need to be an expert at whatever field you're in. And preferably, if you want to have even more aura, then maybe be a master and be like competent in multiple fields. You have multiple passports. You're rich. You have a lot of money. You speak multiple languages. You travel all the time. You have the baddest girl in the world. You dress cool as fuck. You're funny. you're smart, you're good looking, you know, and you just add in a lot of just good attributes. You know, you're in good shape, you look good, you got a six-pack, whatever the case is. The more good attributes that you have and you can combine together, the more aura, you know, the more tools you'll have in your disposal to flex your aura in, right? So that's what it takes to have aura. I hope that made sense. All right, so let's go ahead and summarize it. One, you need to be authentic to yourself. Be what you want to be, do what you want to do, you know, act the way you want to act. Don't be afraid to be different. Speak what you want to speak. Stand out. Number two, you need to be somewhat cool. You need to have that cool, that edge factor to you. Yes, you can be funny, you can be a little bit retarded, etc., but you need to be able to lock in and be serious and look fucking like a badass at times, right? You need to show that you're the shit, you're that guy, you know, you're not just a fucking clown, you can be fucking badass. Like if you get a pose, you know, for a fucking picture, right? And you're gonna fucking flex your shit, you're gonna pose like a fucking, like you're that guy, right? You're gonna pose, you know, you're gonna put your fucking, you know, you're gonna put that energy behind it, right? The third thing is, which again is a minor thing, this is the way you're gonna present yourself, the way you're gonna show yourself out there. That's gonna enhance the aura that you already have by being yourself. And the fourth thing is being the best in your field. Add as many attributes, as many things into your toolbox as possible in order to show that you're competent and good at whatever profession you do, you know, in multiple fields ideally. And I'm not saying you need all of this in order to have aura, but the more you have and the more popular you become over time, that's when you have the ultimate aura. So I hope that maybe helped some of you guys in order to understand like how to actually aura farm and get aura. And there's actually one more thing, but I will be making a separate video on this, so make sure to check out my channel if you want to see on how to actually farm aura from the cosmos, from the universe. Yes, I'm talking spiritually. There's actually a way to farm energy out of the cosmos, and that's, you know, aura farming, the true essence of aura farming, you know, if we go into the spiritual context of it. So look in my channel, I'll make a video about this, and I'll catch you guys next time with the next video. Peace out.